Here we go again. Remember that mug I just threw? Well, this is it. And it is completely dry. It's magic. It happens. Well, it's not completely dry. So anyway, we're going to make a handle. And there are many ways to make handles. We're going to pull a handle. Now, pulling a handle, you can pull a handle off of a mug. You can pull a handle off of a jar. But we're just going to pull a handle and attach it to the mug. This is kind of how I do every mug I make. Some of the handles are different. Now, while we're doing this, I'm going to start getting the clay ready here and pulling the handle. And there's a story when it comes to handles. I have a friend who wanted 8 mugs. If I look in the dictionary, it's his picture under OCD. Why? Because he's very particular about the handles and things he has on his mugs. So we actually ended up making a mug and letting him adjust the handle to fit his hand. Well, needless to say, we did it. He was happy. We made him 8 mugs, and he hasn't broken any of them to this day as far as I know. So handles are important, especially when you're using this mug or this cup or whatever it is on a daily basis to drink out of. Nothing wrong with being utilitarian. While I'm doing this, I'll get into that. It's one of those things that gets on to my attention is people talk about functional, and I think everything's functional. It may not be utilitarian. It might just have an aesthetic function. It might have a utilitarian and aesthetic function. But anyway, so we've pulled this handle, and you notice I was turning the clay, and I wasn't putting a lot of pressure. So we have this nice drapey handle. I'm going to lay it down right here. And now we're going to prepare the mug. Well, we have this high dollar tool that you can make. You can make a lot of your tools. We're going to score and slip. Now, scoring and slipping or scratching and soaking, whatever you want to call it, you need to do this to make sure things stick. Now, I know people will do like one scratch and say, oh, I'm done. No, it doesn't work that way. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to scratch up here, and I always start a little bit below the rim. And I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to scratch it again. You can use slip, which is liquefied clay, or you can use what I use, and that is vinegar. Vinegar the acid kind of keeps the clay from, I think it kind of breaks the clay down. I should get a scientific thing for that. I'm going to soak that. And then I'm going to cut this handle off, and I'm going to cut it at an angle. So it looks a little bit like that. I would ask for a close-up, but I don't want to scare the camera. Then I'm going to take the handle. This is going to be the fun part because I'm doing this sideways. I'm going to take the handle, I'm going to push it into the mug and lift. I'm taking my fingers underneath and kind of working the handle into place. Now, at this point, I've got to figure out where the handle is going to go. This is not a handle. Well, this is a loop. It's a big lever. You're making a ladle. If you want something that's going to fit your hand, it needs to be a little bit closer, and we're going to put this one down about here and make a long shape D. Now, still pretty far off. We'll make it a little bit closer yet. That's not too bad. 2 fingers. Again, making handles, I like to have them shaped so that you can hold them. So anyway, we have this long tail. I'll come down here at the bottom of the handle where I scored. Push this in place using this modified needle tool, which is now a cutting tool. Cut that off. Come back in here and just press that into place. Come up here to the top. Now sometimes I don't work this clay in. I'll leave a little attachment looking spot just for the artistic variety that you might have when you do a handle. Make sure this handle's attached. And then we have our finishing touches. Every handle that I do, I put a thumb stop on. And I have a couple friends that are really particular, again, about their thumb stops. Not that particular, but I do take the ball of clay, I put it right here. And I'm left-handed, so I'm doing all this in front of the camera. I push down and push. So I've got my little thumb stop, make sure everything's secured. Last step for me is that we sign everything, but here on the base of the handle, we take our potter's mark, stick that in, and then we flip it over and we take a pen or a pencil, because after all I write with a pen and pencil, and I just write my name in the bottom of the mug. But since I don't have the pen, I'm going to use the needle tool, which I never use, and I'm just going to sign that, and we'll call it the signature. And that is how to pull one of the handles that we do. If you have any questions, or if you would really like to learn more about handles, please go to Picosin Arts here in Columbia, North Carolina, and you can take a wonderful clay class with Mark Arnold or myself, Dick Heiser. We will be glad to teach you and help you through all your clay and mud slinging ambitions. Thanks. How's that?
Great.